Hello, welcome to Driven at Tinker Time. I've slightly lost my enthusiasm. It's in theory day 3, I think part 7, but it's not. I'll tell you what it is after this. It's actually day 21, or possibly thereabouts. We are now in week 3 of converting the Douglas Special from drums to discs. It's all gone a bit wrong, all because the brake fluid reservoir, that's the original one, single outlet, needs twin, because this has now got twin circuit and I want twin reservoirs. That, let me cover up, oh I've got it dirty, cover up what I've done. That was the one I bought that I thought might work, but, so I went onto eBay and I found some and I was like, universal brake fluid reservoirs. I thought, even if I have to fit 2, I thought, because you can have one for the front circuits, one for the back circuits. So I ordered universal ones and they took a few days to get here. Can you slightly see the problem? That is an original one. Yeah. They're a bit small, motorbike ones. I thought they would have been perfect. No, they're not, you see. Oh, and the reason why, for the back brakes, probably not such a problem, but the fronts, you see, that fluid reservoir here, it's not very big. Now, when your pads start wearing out and the calipers start taking in the fluid to compensate for pad missing, that goes down quite quickly. And then you go, oh, and it means then you're constantly having to check brake fluid on this thing. And it's not a pain in the arse, but it's not the easiest because I have a spare wheel cover, so I'd have to lift the cover off, take off the hubcap, have a look, go, oh yes, it needs a top up, blah, blah. So I do apologise if I'm a bit sniffly today, more so than normal. Pollen has gone absolutely rife. Thankfully, today we've got rain. And so for 2 days, I've been stuck indoors. My medication hasn't worked. I know. Send thoughts and prayers in the comments. Anyway, so I've had to go back to my old reservoir and I've been out with a heat gun because I've had to slightly change the shape. Now, I'm hoping that hasn't damaged too much inside. I don't think it has. It doesn't look like it's gone through. I will fill it up with some water just to check. Actually, I'll put some fluid in. I'll put brake fluid in there, not water. I'll put brake fluid in there and have a check. And then, if it doesn't leak, brilliant. If I put water in there, then I've got to dry it out and it will slow me down. But I'll show you what I've done to the sort of bulkhead. So that big hole at the back was where the original reservoir went. Lovely, you see. My new one, I've had to drill really, really big holes. I might actually have to go slightly bigger because the pipe on here, it's really tight. I'm going to have to sort of put the pipe on, shove that in, see, and then it sits in like that. Hence that funny little angle there. Not too bad. Actually, to be honest with you, that didn't actually go in as hard as I thought. There is a screw fix, and I will put some sealant at the bottom just to sort of seal it really. And I've got to paint all that anyway, so I can't really do much today. I know, another day. But that is sort of now how that goes. So I'm quite happy with that. It does leave a bit of a gap behind, but I can, I don't know, put things in there. Like a dusting cloth or something, I don't know. But yeah, that is sort of now how we're going for. And if I can show you, just see that. Oh, hang on, there we are, look at that. The new master cylinder and the hoses, which I've just, yeah, I just thought to myself, I need to make sure that doesn't run against the body. That's it, that doesn't run against the body. So, yeah. So, I fitted the disc kit. I've gone out for a test drive, bedded it all in, no leaks, all happy. So let's start at the beginning and conclude. And my conclusion might shock you. So, the actual kit. The kit is all right. Oh, I've got really squeaky seats. I can't do it outside. I'll tell you briefly. I have just filmed this outside and the wind is really gentle, but oh my God, it's really buggered this up. So anyway, so I'm inside the car with the squeaky seats. There goes the camera. So anyway, so the kit's all right. I had a few problems. my end, because I hadn't planned. Now, here we go. If you are going to do this and fit this kit, here's your plan. Make sure you get your brake master cylinder and buy a new switch as well. Buy a new fluid reservoir, or look around for the fluid reservoirs and choose which one you want to fit. Remember, the original from him would not fit because it was only a single circuit. You need to get some hoses from your reservoir down to the master cylinder, and you need to get bits to make brake pipe. If you haven't already, if you haven't got that, then that really will bugger you up, and you'll have to then get someone to make it up for you. So that's it. Those are the things you need, and that then you should, in theory, be able to do this in one day. It's a one-day job. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being really, really difficult, 10 being absolute piece of piss, where do I recommend? Well, for me personally, I think it's 10. I know I had a bit of a problem because I had to get the bearing races pushed in because I didn't have any socket big enough in my garage to get the back ones in, as I've previously said. So that was something else that slowed me down. But if I did have a big enough socket, then it wouldn't have slowed me down. So yeah, that was the only thing really. But if I had that done, it's 10. It literally is just unbolt all your drums, put the discs on, change the master cylinder, blah, blah, blah. Admittedly, take the fuel tank out. So yeah, that's it. If you're not really, adventurous, shall we say, with the spanners, then I'd say, to be honest with you, it's about an 8. It really is not very, very difficult, because the kit, I have to say, is quite nice in how it all goes together. And there wasn't any problems. There wasn't me going, oh, this doesn't fit, that doesn't. Yes, okay, the master cylinder didn't fit because it's for left-hand fucking drive. But apart from that, that was the only big problem I had when it's like, oh, it doesn't fit. It does fit. It was me being stupid, not on the right path. So plan ahead. Anything like this that you do on any vehicle, plan ahead. Make sure you've got all the bits so you don't slow yourself down. Now we come to what's it like to drive. And I'll be honest, because what I'm going to say here will contradict my conclusion. My conclusion might well shock you. I know, right? Revelations. But yes, so what's it like to drive? Well, the pedal, I'll be honest with you, feels a bit softer. Now, Slade VW on YouTube, I follow him. He's done some conversion kit and he's fitted this 10 PSI thing to the back lines of the Beetle. And I think it's because the pedals feel a bit soft. The pedal on this does feel soft. Much far softer than it did with the drums. It almost feels like he's got a brake servo, but the brakes really do work. I took him out for a test drive and the road was mildly moist and it locked up, but it locked up in a straight line. Today is a lovely, dry, sunny day. Went along, hit the brakes, not locked up so easily, I have to say, but then I was being a bit, just really to try, because when you do things like this, you've got to get a feel for it. Hit the brakes and brought it to a nice stop. Very, very straight. You can lock the brakes up. As I say, with Beetles, there's no weight over the front, so you do have to sort of be a bit cautious how you regulate. But the pedal, yeah, it doesn't feel bad. Now I've got used to it, you go, oh no, actually it does work. And when you press the pedal gently, and he's gently rolling, you can feel him slowing down. So yeah, I quite like that. But the other thing that could be not a problem, but why my pedals are a bit softer, and I've noticed this with Barry, is I've started using DOT 5.1 brake fluid. I used to like 3. 3 was really, really good. It wasn't hydroscopic. It didn't absorb moisture like 4. So, yeah, but 3 is really, really difficult to get hold of now. 4 is everywhere. But I was reading 5.1. It's less hydroscopic than 4. It's got more anti-rust properties in it, and also it's got a higher boiling point. But do not get confused with 5.1 and 5. DOT 5 is not compatible with 3, 4 and 5.1. So why they didn't call it DOT 6, I don't know. 5.1, I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, that really is, these brake fluid people, they're asking for trouble really, aren't they? But yes, just be careful with the brake fluid. If you do decide, I'm going to go 5.1, just be cautious with that. So yeah, I think that's probably the reason, because Barry's brakes, I've changed all the bits over, his pedal's just that little bit softer, but I quite like that soft pedal. It's not so hard. And I have had to hit the brakes on the Beetle, and it just brings it up nice. So yeah, it's quite nice how it stops. Now we get on to cost. Now there's two bits actually in the conclusion bit. I'm going to talk about costing. I tell you now, it is expensive. I didn't quite realise, because I buy bits as I go along, bits there, leave it in the garage, you know. Months have passed, and then you put it all together. And then you sit down and you add it all up, and then you go, fucking hell. Today, at the current prices for this Empi disc kit is £635, including VAT. You need to factor in a new brake master cylinder, fluid reservoir, hose pipes, hoses, and some other little bits and pieces here and there. Now, to, you know, you out there, it tops the scales at just over £700. I personally, now I've added it all up, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't justify that, really. And the reason why I can't justify that, and I've sort of might have slightly given my conclusion away. If you just go out cruising in your Beetle with your mates, cruising the streets, the drum setup is fine. As I've said many, many times, no weight on the front of the Beetle. Those drums do a pretty good job. If you take it on the track, then yeah, or a bit enthusiastic, yeah, the drums are better. But that is, if you are going to start building a Beetle to go racing with, then yeah, you are going to update the brakes. But just to say, as I've said, you know, oh, I've got disc brakes on my Beetle, it's quite expensive to be able, it's quite a lot of money to be able to show off and say, I've got discs on the front of my Beetle. So here we come to the big reveal. Having done it, do I recommend it? No, I don't. I really can't recommend this. Yes, it has made Douglas maintenance free when it comes to the front brakes, because I don't have to do the yearly adjusting of the brakes. I don't really mind doing that on the drums. It still, you know, gets you a bit intimate. You can sit there with the wheels up, get a coffee. Actually, these you don't need to really take the wheel off, because there's a big massive hole in the drum where you can, with the special VW tool, to adjust them. Admittedly, I do like to have a hammer to hit the top of them just to reset the shoes. But yeah, you don't need to sit. It's not that much of a pain in the arse, as I say, if you just drive sedately. But yeah, overall, I can't recommend it, because it is too much money for just everyday driving. If the kit was £400, oh my God, I would highly recommend it. But for £700, there is a lot of money I can do with £700. I could spend £700 on hay fever medication, where I'm not all the time. I do apologise for that. I'm literally, my nose is like, you wouldn't believe it. But yeah, I do not recommend it. Anyway, wow, that's a big revelation, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take this home. I'm going to have a coffee. Anyway, mind you go. Take care. See you soon. Let's go. There goes the camera. And that's why you put it that way. Right, let's try. So, oh, hang on. Oh, excuse me, that's Pepsi. What about Shirley? Heartache. GoPro, stop recording.